All right, what's going on, everyone? My name is James Livingston. I am here looking over the market, just kind of going over how this Friday, December 8th, 2023, did close out. Just to go over, kind of what I think, what we could be looking at possibly here in the future. And then I'm also going to go over one other or two other stocks, rather. So stick around here. Let's go over the market and check it out. So first and foremost, we're going to look at the weekly here on SPY. So we did during the day, right at the end of the day, we did break over a previous level, which is right here at 460.53. So this is way back January 22. So we're looking at just about 2 years ago that this level was last tested. So we actually broke it and went to 460.75, but we did get rejected. And the fact that we're closing a weekly candle right here is interesting. After all this movement up that we've had, and we closed it right at a previous weekly high, maybe this is where we start to pull back. Just kind of looking at it from the perspective of, it would make sense that right here is where we would start to pull back before it does have a chance at pushing up at the highs, 467, 470, etc. So that's just my idea here on SPY. Daily wise, again, we've just been channeling upwards, moving up here. So there's definitely the possibility that we could just continue on and break above the highs and go towards all-time highs. But I really think this is a perfect spot for this to at least pull back a little bit. I'm not saying that we're going to yank back to, 440, but on the daily time frame, we might have enough space to pull down to the lower 450s one more time before we do pop off, as this 20 EMA will curve up with it. Volume here on Friday was pretty good. Price action was a little bit funky. It's a Friday, options expire today, so I'm sure that had a little bit to do with this, as we pumped up, pulled all the way back down to open, and then pumped up into the close. Just a very slow push up, though. Definitely melting premiums on 0 DTE options. So I think the market makers, necessarily did their job to take our money. So, but that's what I'm looking at on SPY. I think that there is obviously the chance that we do continue to push up as we have increasing volume, but it would also, I think, be a nice spot right here as we do touch that previous weekly high, that we could pull back and still be in a healthy uptrend, and provide enough, rest, if you will, for the ETF to push higher. So that's kind of the idea that I'm looking at there for SPY. I'm going to briefly look over QQQ. So QQQ finished off, pretty good. A nice, push down followed by a pull back up by the buyers. So good close to the week, bouncing right off of that daily 20 EMA. And this is essentially, I feel like SPY is almost lagging behind QQQ in terms of what the move that I think should happen is. I feel like this is exactly what SPY should do, is pull back to its 20 EMA on the daily and get that bounce to continue higher. QQQ looks very primed, in my opinion, right now to push up towards that $400 level, its previous highs. So I think that they're right on track, in my opinion, and daily wise, just a nice push up this week. So you can see it's just continuing to climb in this upward channel. Nothing bearish about this right now, guys. This should not be looked at as bearish at all. Put should not be getting loaded right now. You're just going to burn yourselves, honestly. Don't fight the trend. The trend is your friend. Last but not least, I do want to go over Tesla here. So again, weekly time frame wise, this thing is like literally ready to explode. The weekly's right above that 20 EMA. We have this nice pennant formation. It's looking strong. Volume is growing. It did slightly dip down this week, but we ultimately finished inside of the previous week. This to me is setting up for a nice push, one direction or the other. I'm leaning up just because of the amount of times we've tapped this trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go for the 5th time, hopefully this week coming up. The only thing that's kind of freaking me out here a little bit is this potential head and shoulders we formed. We did one before where we kind of had the shoulder, head, shoulder, and then we absolutely fell down to the previous trend line, or the bottom of this trend line here. We have a similar kind of head and shoulders right now. Now the buyers can invalidate this head and shoulders pattern if we can break that 246.77 high from about middle of the week or so. That would provide enough push, in my opinion, to get us back up to the 250 to 252 range. But ultimately, I do feel like the push up to 260 plus is coming sooner rather than later. So that's kind of my analysis here on the market this week and moving forward. I might make another video here tomorrow or Sunday just to kind of reiterate a couple of names I'm looking at. But ultimately, that is all for today, guys. Hopefully you have a great weekend. If you guys have any names you want looked at, please feel free to comment them down below. And of course, if you like this video and learned something, leave a like. Thank you guys so much. Look forward to rather going over the market again in the next video. Have a good one, guys.